Welcome to, where are we doing that? Malcolm and We, heard exclusively on uh, malcolmpresents.com, a, a streaming platform heard around the world and beyond. And I'm Malcolm Berman, and my co-host is Yana Larson. And Yana, introduce our guest.
Yes. Today we have Lilian Calvache, and she is a professional committed to making a positive impact on communities. Originally from Colombia, she has a master's degree in international trade and over a decade of experience in volunteering and advocating for marginalized voices. Lillian has founded a business focused on IT fundamentals, professional development, and digital well being. She also serves as the vice president of the IU.org, a Colombian NGO. Currently, she is working on a book about the global diaspora and cultural intelligence, aiming to empower global communities while achieving financial independence. Lil lives in South Carolina with her family and was a recent guest panelist with We the World's annual 11 Days of Global Unity. Welcome, Lily.
Thank you. Muchas gracias, amigos.
Uh, uh, I wish I could think of a Spanish phrase to say back, but my mind always goes blank and I can't think of
De
anything.
nada.
Yeah,
De nada.
very
Sí.
smartful.
Yeah, which is literally is of nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. Malcolm's wife is from South America, I
No,
believe.
she's not. She's from Central America, El Salvador.
Central
Oh,
America. I get
wow.
those confused. From
But
where?
my big regret is after being married 30 years and knowing her about 33 years, I still don't speak Spanish.
But
Oh,
you do know a few words, right?
Yeah, but you can't say it on YouTube.
Oh.
But I have two boys, 28 and 30, and both of them are fluent in Spanish.
And English, I hope.
English, not so much. No, yeah, both. They're both
and
they're both
Young
college
persons
graduates.
speak. They're what?
They're both college graduates, and they're still paying for it.
Yeah, well, you are, right?
I am. No, they're
well,
good. They took over the payments.
Oh,
They're,
nice.
they're working. They have their own apartments, and
but that's good.
Yes,
Good
good
for them.
global citizens of the
they're good
world,
kids.
right? Yeah,
Anyway,
I have great kids too.
getting back to Lillian, do you like to be called Lillian or Lily?
Lily, Lila, Lilian, Liliana, so many names that
Yana?
I like them all.
Lil.
But Lily, yeah, most people know me internationally as Lily.
Lily.
From
Okay.
Lily. I think that's so pretty.
Thank you.
I always think of that. I think of lilies of the field.
Oh, that one had Sidney Poitier in
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
When the
She's probably not old enough to remember
It
that
was the
movie,
first, yeah, but
because
that's
we're oldsters and she's a youngster, relatively.
it was the first black actor to win the
Now
Academy Award.
I hide my age behind this what's the
Oh,
name of
okay.
this new technology that they make you look younger, but I'm not.
I don't know. I need to find it.
I
Those
do it
filters.
opposite. I look too young, so I have the technology to make me look older.
Oh, so you
Oh,
can look
Yeah, you see,
distinguished, right?
my beard is naturally blonde,
Oh,
and my
okay.
hair
really?
is black, but I have to tint it because
Oh,
people don't take me serious or
oh, well,
seriously.
I know you because otherwise you look like I don't know
I look
what.
too young. I look like in
You look
my
like a surfer
I
dude,
look like
right?
my surfer dude. Oh, if you
25.
look behind me, past my studio, you see my surfboards.
Oh, really? Where are they hiding?
Well, that's why I moved out to Southern California. I'm a native New Yorker
Oh,
From Coney Island.
from Coney Island,
wow.
which most people heard of. Have you heard of Coney Island?
No, but I have heard that it's a big change from there to
Oh,
California.
yes.
Wow.
We were talking about that, Lily and I, when we first met, talking about how, in our country, there are different dialects, different attitudes, different ways of interacting and being, if you're in New York City compared to if you're in, Boulder, Colorado or
Or South
Alabama or
Carolina.
something. Yeah. But she said in Columbia, it's the same way. The northern area of Columbia is different from the southern area of Columbia.
Well,
And
I know.
I had never really thought that. I mean, I knew about dialects, but I didn't, but I don't know why I didn't take it a step further.
I asked my wife when someone speaks Spanish, she almost could tell what country they're from.
Me
Or
too.
what part
Yeah.
of the country?
Not necessarily what part of the country, but what country, because
Nationalities,
yeah, because they have different words meaning different things.
accents. Yes, and the accents too. Like you can tell if a person is from Argentina or from Ecuador or from South, anywhere in the South. What sometimes confuses me is like people from Salvador or Honduras. I think they have the same kind of accent.
Well, it's a smaller region,
Mm-hmm.
but they have different words. Like when Anna goes
Yeah,
back to El Salvador, when she speaks to certain people, that she doesn't understand what they're saying.
me neither. It's the
Because
same thing.
yeah, because
They
the
call
idioms are the same, are different.
Yeah, and they call elote, and I'm like, what is elote? And then say that's corn, and I'm like, maize. I'm like, oh, okay. Usually in restaurants they say those kind of words,
Yeah.
and sometimes we get together like with 3 or 4 more Latinos, and we have no clue what the corn is, but it's in
How
Spanish.
about
Like,
how about do you understand Portuguese?
a little bit, yeah, because it's very close to Spanish. I could understand it. I cannot speak it, but I can understand it. And
Because the to me it's like everything has like an ush sound on the end of it, or the D is a G, like D instead of just something, it's just something. Um,
in my
I'm I don't know. I'm trying to learn a lot of languages, and I'm learning Scandinavian languages,
wow.
and specifically Danish, which is way harder than Norwegian or Swedish to me. And the reason I'm learning Danish is because I'm of Danish heritage, but the
Mm.
Danish language, even people there will say, just put some marbles in your mouth, and then you'll be able to speak it.
Bubble gum, and then you start speaking. That's what they
I
would
can't
call.
speak it anyway, so.
Well, I admire both of you because I still have a difficulty learning English.
I
Well,
love
you're
that.
old too, and that you're
And as you know, Lily, some words in English are, like the GH sound, or in one
PH.
way it's pronounced one way, in one way it's pronounced another way. There's a great old thing with there's an old TV show, I Love Lucy, with Lucille
oh
Ball and Desi Arnaz, and it was actually the first mixed marriage couple on TV, which
yeah.
was going in the 50s. And Lucy is Desi is trying to learn English, so he's reading a book to his son,
Uh-huh.
and he
Oh, I
keeps on
bet that was.
pronouncing words wrong because
Oh well,
the way it's written, it's not pronounced.
no, and I have so many stories that when I was pronouncing them, I got like in trouble because
You get
when
embarrassed.
yeah, because when the first time I came to United States, I remember I was in this Girl Scouts camp, and I had 25 kids every week. So there was a word that I couldn't pronounce well, and I'm gonna spell it because I'm still having trouble with it.
Okay.
Sheet. All right.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, so that's mostly for all Latino people. So anyway,
You
I
have to
have
do
been,
the long E.
yeah. So
E.
then people were saying, no, you have to smile to say it, but that was after I made so many mistakes. So anyway, back in that time, there was nobody in that camp that could tell me the difference of how to pronounce it because nobody was speaking Spanish. So now
Ah.
I have this back in that time I had these 25 kids and I'm like, okay, everybody, welcome. Please put your SHEET on the bed, and then we're gonna head to the uh, main room. And some of those kids were like they were like 5, 6 years old.
Oh.
Then the camp director said, knocked on the door, and Lily, well, back in the time, I wasn't Lily, I was Hummingbird. That was my nickname. Hummingbird,
Hummingbird.
we need to talk. And I'm like, oh my God, what what did I say now? But it was like a great experience because I was learning pronunciation there, and it was a great experience
The
back there.
beginning of what are you doing now? What do you say is your chief focus?
Well, right now I have two parts. The first one is starting my company, which we already heard from Jenna in the bio, but also I'm doing the company responsibility with the social actions that is impacting others. So any project that I receive, I go and I just help other people to start their kind of like projects, international projects. So in this moment, I'm working on developing more like the self-knowledge industry through all these workshops that we're helping with. And we're using like cultural intelligence to produce like, well, we should not say produce, but kind of like get into the collective intelligence. And that's what the main focus is right now, because back in Colombia, South America, there are some good ideas, good projects, good things with good people, but the missing point there is they don't know how to create projects. They don't know how to deal with the basics of IT, the fundamentals of IT, and they don't know mainly where to start. So that's where we focus on the personal development,
Yeah.
which take us to the other levels that we're gonna be talking about. Like, for example, if you want to develop your life purpose project, is it aligned to your mission, to your vision, to your interests, and all this stuff?
And are you
And Malcolm, I also wanted to say that what we were talking about when Brigitte and I were meeting her and talking about her being with the 11 Days of Global Unity is that we were also talking with Mitzi, who we had on a couple weeks ago, and they are both working on land trust issues as well. So because lands were stolen, taken, a long time ago. And so there's the recognition and reparation kind of attitude that's going on. And so the talk is, and then for their cultural identity, who owns the land and how do you make sure you can have access to it? So.
Yeah, well, they took a lot of lands away from my people.
You want to explain that?
Yeah, the Garden of Eden, particularly.
He's of the Jewish faith. That's
I'm
what
of
he's
the Jewish
referring.
faith. Actually, I don't know if Adam and Eve were Jewish, come to think of it.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think
there
there
you
was any
go.
religion.
Maybe we could ask Hamlet, as we were
Yeah,
discussing before.
How can
maybe.
we know?
Well, I know my name Malcolm. I'm a Scottish king from
And there you go.
Macbeth.
Yeah,
I'm the son of Duncan,
right.
but I never met him. But anyway, are you working
So,
mainly with
We have,
Spanish people or people from
yeah. Well, I have two projects going on right now. And one of them is with the International Union. This is NGO here in the United States, and I am the vice president for the Colombian representation in this part. We are trying to get people from all over the world that are working on these issues of the land, especially or more specifically the taxes, because you know what taxes is a big issue everywhere in the world.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, did you see the spending of the taxes of the United States around the world?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was listening to some of those people talking about this show in Ecuador that the United States is paying like 3.7 billion with the letter B to spend shows in other countries with projects that have like, for me, they don't have any sense. But anyways, that's another issue that we can talk about later.
Yeah,
But
actually, what got me to think of it, what I'd like to speak to you, off camera, is to see if we could get our show in Colombia, either we could do it one of two ways. We can either do it on radio,
okay.
because basically everything we do is also recorded audio, or we could do it on TV.
Yeah, TV would be good because we have any of the two ways would be great. So that's what I was going to tell about the following project we have a global nexus of communications as a part, and that's what we are trying to do. Get people from radio, TV, YouTubers, influencers, anybody, and we just sit down and talk about one subject. In this moment, we're talking about the land problems around the world.
Yeah.
And
Well, a lot of the world, what we don't realize, we think everybody's different, and we're something special. But a lot of the people the same. When I speak to more people from around the world, and I've always lived in places where I had access to people from other countries. I moved from New York City to Los Angeles. So I never lived right in between. So most of the people I know or grew up with are a hodgepodge of, I mean, they're from out the world.
yeah,
And there are
wow.
even some from outer space, I imagine,
Well, that's
too.
that's where the show is going. As I say, we're heard
Mars.
around the world and beyond.
And beyond.
Because I keep on getting people calling me up,
Oh,
and
gee.
it's gibberish, and I don't understand them.
No wonder you're confused.
Maybe they're speaking Spanish. You gotta get those
Yeah.
guys to help you.
Alien Spanish.
Alien Spanish.
Another dialect.
But anyway, so what I'd like to possibly do is integrate what you're doing with what we're doing.
Okay, that would be great.
Because I am working actually with other people right now, trying to get this show either broadcast again, either on radio or on television, or not even
I
on
have the two
television.
options.
Yeah, it's where it's accessible to everybody.
Yeah. So the one that we just did was in the frame of the COP16, which it was a huge event in
Oh,
Colombia.
good.
So we did a parallel event to that one.
What event?
A parallel.
Parallel?
Mhm. Because we did not have, well, for the many reasons, we applied to be part of the big event, but they did not have the right logistics team. So for whatever reason, there was not enough space for everybody to present there. So we just created our own parallel event. So there were many people that were there, and they were bringing the problem, the solution, and the proposal.
Well, yeah. Well, if you could take any of the shows that you've done, and if you had them on video,
I do.
yeah,
I have to upload them
because what we could do is put them on Malcolm. Malcolm and we can have like another separate little thing where we could broadcast your shows, or actually it's zooming it or doing it on the internet. Which
You mean on
basically,
Malcolm Presents instead of Malcolm and We?
I have like 29 videos in
Ooh.
YouTube. I have to, finishing the edition, because each one of them have, like, I have 4 programs, right? The one that is called Your Best Bet. The other one is Your Magic Move. The other one is Cultural Intelligence, and the other one, Spiritual Intelligence. And there is the youth group too. So we have like this, let's say 5 subdivisions of the program. So the project is called Global Nexus of Communications, and it has like different ways of performing different projects. So all of them are international projects. So this one that I'm working with is with the International Union that was helping me. Wendy from Costa Rica, she was helping me interviewing all these speakers from all over the world. And we were finding that the problem is almost the same everywhere, the same pattern.
Huh.
And we are like, okay, this person speaking Spanish is in Argentina, and they have the same problem that this other person in London is talking about. It's different, and they don't know each other.
Right.
And then it's like kind of an experiment too. And we're just having like kind of different actions, activities, because it's just not communicating, just informing, but it's also what is
right. I mean, the world's a small planet. I mean, you take, I don't know if you've ever done, well, we can't do it in Los Angeles, but we go outside, like the background that Ayana has. I go outside, if I go outside in the desert or the ocean, and I look in the stars, and I go, oh my God. I mean, we are one small little star in that whole galaxies of
yeah,
stars.
and now that
I mean, I hate to say it, we are so insignificant in
Yeah,
the
that's
world of things. But what I'd like to do is what we could do, and you'll speak to Yana, and you have her number. Take some of your shows that you've done, even if it's just in Spanish. It's I assume it's in Spanish. A lot of it is just in
well,
Spanish.
some of them are in English, some of them
Right.
are in
Okay,
Spanish.
the English, we have no problem. But the Spanish, what we could listen to it in Spanish, or we could talk about it. You could do a new intro, and
Okay,
you could tell people what they're talking about.
like kind of a summary.
Yeah, like the that's universality of what's
Correct,
happening around the world, because everybody has that same problem.
And
correct.
Malcolm, this is right up your alley because you were a communications major when you
Well, that
were
was
in
my, yeah,
college.
that thing I want to communicate. I was a communications, oh, major, but there were so many less communications back then.
Yeah, I mean it's just that subject alone changes all the time, and it's way more complicated than people think. It's
No,
communication. Well, yeah, talking, right? But there's more to it. There are expressions that are different, as we were
oh,
talking about, in different languages, and there's body language, and even how you hold your head or your hands, or there are so many different
well,
ways that can be interpreted.
everybody's interpreting that. When you see a world leader meeting another world leader, they say,
Yeah,
well, he was sitting back in his chair and his head
yeah.
was up, or he folded his arms a certain way, and they interpret what it is.
So the
Or
thing,
you see a couple walking down the street, someone will say, well,
body
they're not
language.
holding hands or looking at each other, and he's walking two steps in front of her. And then they give a whole psychological meaning of what's happening.
Right. That may not be true.
But right. But it's
Everything changes. So
but
yeah,
I
so now,
started working in TV and radio and did it for the first 30 years. I'm only doing now the internet about
yeah,
four,
it's more relaxed and
yeah,
it's more
about 4 or 5 years. Well, I like it because, as I always say, I have more control. I don't have a boss. Yes, I have a boss. Yana is my boss. She yells at me. But I have other shows aside from Malcolm and We and dealing with we. But I like dealing with we because with we get to see that people are doing something around trying to improve the world.
correct.
And then the other shows I have are more fun shows, like Tush Twins. And I have a show called Tush Twins, which we talk about how things have changed in the last 60 years.
And there
Oh,
are
no,
two
I didn't
ladies that
know that.
have they have known each other since they were babes
Right, right. Their
in
mothers wheeled them around in their carriage.
in their prams, I think
Wow.
they were called. And they still know each other and they still talk, and they're still really different,
Yeah.
but they have a lot of
And it
fun
was funny.
together.
I didn't know them till about 4 or 5 years ago because did a show with Maxine's brother.
He was in a
And,
big musical group.
yeah, yeah, he did uh, he was part of the original Tokens, which is A Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Wow.
You probably heard that. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, a lion sleeps tonight.
Sleeps tonight.
A whim away.
Women away, women away. And then they
Actually,
went,
it was originally speak of
ooh-wee. I
international. It
can't do
was
that
originally
falsetto.
an African tune. The melody
Yeah.
was African. But anyway,
Anyway, we digress.
we digress. Again, tell us what what project are you focusing on now?
Well, first of all, I would like to get my clients so I can continue helping the world. So while I'm waiting for those clients, project, the project that I'm working on now is trying to get the south of Colombia, South America, into, let's say, an example to follow, peace world-wise. Let's say there is this north and south that Yana was talking about earlier. And for some reason, the north is always where everything is focused, and the south is like left behind. So that's where all the issues are happening, all the problems are more, let's say, I don't know why all these governments worldwide centered things or centralized things in just one area.
Mm.
And then in this part of the country, in Colombia, South America, the region has a territory that is very particular, and whoever owns that territory is the winner. So the winner can do whatever he wants to with the territory. But we want that territory to be for, let's say, the good winners, so we can create this hub where everybody can get together and make these projects happen. But we just have some kind of ideas. We're looking for other people that want to help contribute for those projects to happen, and that's where we are right now.
I mean,
So you're working on unity then,
Yeah, good luck.
unifying.
Well, I have to
Yeah.
admit, I don't know that much about Colombia, but the information back here, but I think the average American, when they think of Colombia, basically they think of drugs, they think of cocaine.
Exactly. But after this event, I think they are right on one path, but not in, like, let's say 90% of the country is not that. We have like let's think of the flora and the fauna. We have the most variety of hummingbirds in Colombia.
Oh.
And then we have
I love hummingbirds.
Yeah, me too. We love them here every summer. We need to have every single day, we have like 4 or 5 what is this? I'm forgetting the name of that. Well, we hang these containers with water.
The feeders.
The feeders.
Yeah, the feeders. Yeah, the feeders. So every single summer, and 4 feeders around the house, and it's just beautiful.
And they're all around. Yeah.
Do you live there do you live in Colombia part-time? Or do you have a house or a family or
Colombia, South America, or Colombia, South Carolina?
Colombia, South America?
We don't have, well, I do not live there. I go visit, but I live here in
Basically,
South Carolina.
okay.
Yeah.
But
But
you
anyway,
So do you have a lot of family?
I bring
You
the
have a lot-
ham, but not
I'm
here.
But do you have a lot of family
Yeah,
in?
we are a huge, big family back home. It's like 9 kids, and well, my parents are gone, and one of my siblings, I mean, my sister, she's gone, but for the rest, we are all alive, and we are all contributing to make the world a better place to live in. Also, we are trying to see what we have in Colombia to show the world that we're not just that, what you said, but also orchids. If you think of flowers,
Oh,
I was telling you, we have like 4,000 kind of flowers. Well, those ones, those orchids, you can find 1,400
Wow.
in
They're
Colombia.
just growing, just growing.
Yeah,
You know, they're
right.
not in containers.
Yeah.
They're just growing. Isn't it? Must be beautiful.
Okay.
Let's talk about food. We have like
Oh, yeah.
smart food. We call it smart because it doesn't make you sick. It is delicious. It's organic, 100% organic, because you know there are like 3 kinds of organic things here in the United States. You don't know if you're eating organic for real. But anyways, if it has certain percentage of organic, then they label it as organic, but it's not really
Right.
organic. I'm talking
Not
here.
not the real
But
organic. Yeah.
Back home, I can just go to my uncle's house or somebody's house, go to the backyard, I grab the oranges and I prepare my juice, or I go to the barn and I get the eggs, and then I just bring and prepare my breakfast, or I go grab the coffee, go grab the yuca, go grab the plantains, and everything is fresh there. You don't have to go. Some houses even don't need a fridge there because everything.
Depending what happens in the next 4 years here, I might be inclined to go back to go to Colombia to live.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Americans that do.
That's the other plan that is, you know, I have like short-term, medium-term, and long-term plans for my life purpose project. So ideally, I want to take some people from the United States or from all over the world, go have some time in Colombia. They can experience the real medicine, like ancestral medicine, because we're trying to go back to the roots. We're just waiting for a place that is like in the right conditions to have like safety for the tourists. So we do.
Put my name on the list.
Yeah.
I will. Okay, right now.
Now, before we run out of time, where can our audience reach you? Do you have a website?
I have a website.
Email?
Yes, I have a website that is called Minority Consulting International.
Minority Consulting International.
That's correct.
At where? Oh,
Anywhere in the website, you just type
Is
minority
it mci.com or
international.
MCI? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, you can also type minorityconsultinginternational.com, and you can go to my blog and you see the part that we're doing, contributing to bettering the world is in my blog. But if you want to have like a, let's say you want to know a little bit about the fundaments of, let's talk about personal life purpose project, you go there. If you want to know about, I have this idea, I have this project that I don't know how to start, then you just click there and you contact me. I can align your life purpose project to your passion, to your interest, and I can create you a customized project so you can make that project happen.
How
Right?
okay.
beautiful.
Now the most important part, or with me growing up, what the most important part? How do you finance yourself? Do you charge people for this, or are you
I do. I'm going to. I'm going to because I've been helping people for free for about 10 years. But then when I want to continue financing another project, then I reach my husband, which is the bank. So I go get him out. And he said, no more, we need to make this MCI. For short, I call it MCI because Minority Consulting International is too long. So I call it MCI.
Okay.
So that's the idea that when I have a client, they are not only buying a product for themselves, they are not only improving their life themselves, but they are contributing to improve the world. And at the same time, they are contributing, they don't know, but they're contributing to all these other projects that are happening in Colombia, more specifically in the South.
Guys, I hate to break this up, but would you believe a half hour has elapsed?
We'll have to,
We'll have to do it again, but send all the info to Yana because we're publishing an additional page to Malcolm and we where we have the name of the people that we've interviewed and how to reach them.
yeah, well, it was nice to meet you. Thank
Right,
you so
same
very
here.
much.
And as I say, I'll
Bye.
give you time to see some of our back shows. Take a look at it and see how we could put that in Colombia and see how
Okay,
you could give us some shows for to do it on the internet here, which reaches around the world.
all right.
And
So,
sorry for the call. Anyway, guys,
it was a pleasure.
thank you. Thank you for joining us. And you're listening to Malcolm, Malcolm and we heard on malcolmpresents.com. See you guys next week. Bye.
You, bye.